Have you ever been the one everyone turns to when things fall apart? The one who listens when others cry? The one who gives even when you're exhausted? The one who says it's okay when it really isn't? Have you ever wondered what it costs you to always be kind, to always understand, to always help? And what happens when the person who saves everyone finally needs saving? This is a story about kindness. But more than that, it's a story about boundaries, self-worth, and the hidden cost of always putting yourself last. Daniel had always been that person. From a young age, he learned that being helpful made people smile. When his classmates forgot their homework, Daniel shared his. When friends fought, Daniel became the mediator. When someone needed a favor, Daniel was already saying yes before they finished asking. People admired him for it. They called him generous, reliable, a good person. And Daniel believed that was who he had to be. Because every time he helped, he felt needed. Every time he sacrificed, he felt valuable. And every time someone thanked him, it felt like proof that he mattered. What Daniel didn't realize was that he was slowly teaching the world that his time, energy, and feelings were unlimited. As Daniel grew older, the requests grew heavier. Friends needed advice at midnight. Co-workers needed him to cover extra shifts. Family members leaned on him emotionally, constantly. And Daniel never said no. Even when he was tired, even when he was overwhelmed, even when his own problems were quietly piling up. He told himself, "They need me more than I need rest." He told himself, "I can deal with my feelings later." But later never came, because the more he gave, the more people took. And not out of cruelty, but out of expectation. No one noticed when Daniel started sleeping less. No one noticed when his laughter became quieter. No one noticed when he stopped talking about his dreams. Because Daniel never complained. He was the strong one, the understanding one, the one who always had it together. Inside, though, he was tired in a way sleep couldn't fix. A tiredness that came from being emotionally available to everyone, while being emotionally abandoned by himself. He began to feel invisible, not because people ignored him, but because they only saw what he could give. One evening, after another long day of fixing problems that weren't his, Daniel finally reached his breaking point. A friend called, not to ask how he was, but to complain again. As Daniel listened, something inside him snapped. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly. For the first time, Daniel realized something painful. No one had asked how he was in a very long time. And worse, he had trained them not to. That night, Daniel sat alone, replaying years of memories. All the times he showed up. All the times he gave more than he had. All the times he swallowed his feelings so others wouldn't be uncomfortable. And he asked himself a question he had avoided for years. If I stopped helping, would they still stay? The thought scared him, because deep down, he already knew the answer. Daniel wasn't weak, he was kind. But kindness without boundaries turns into self-neglect. He realized he had learned, somewhere along the way, that love had to be earned through sacrifice, that being needed was the same as being valued, that saying no meant risking abandonment. And so he gave, and gave, and gave, until there was almost nothing left. Change didn't happen overnight. It began with one small moment. Someone asked Daniel for a favor, one he didn't have the energy for. His chest tightened, his mind raced, and for the first time, he said, "I can't." The silence on the other end was uncomfortable, then disappointment, then annoyance, and that hurt. But something else happened too. Daniel felt relief, not because he hurt someone, but because he finally chose himself. As Daniel started setting boundaries, reactions changed. Some understood, some adjusted, some respected him more. Others pulled away. And that was the hardest part, because Daniel realized something painful but necessary. Some people didn't love him, they loved what he provided. And when the supply stopped, so did their presence. For the first time, Daniel began listening to his own needs. He rested without guilt. He said no without explanations. He helped only when he truly wanted to. And slowly the exhaustion lifted. Not because life became easier, but because it became more honest. He learned that kindness doesn't mean self-destruction. That helping others should never require abandoning yourself. That being a good person includes being good to you. Daniel didn't stop being kind. He stopped being available at the cost of his peace. He stopped confusing responsibility with love. He stopped measuring his worth by how much he sacrificed. And something surprising happened. The relationships that remained became deeper, healthier, more real. Because they were built on mutual respect, not emotional dependency. If you are always the one helping, always the one listening, always the one giving, ask yourself this: who takes care of you? Because the world will take as much as you allow it to. And kindness that costs your mental health is not kindness. It's self-erasure. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to choose yourself without feeling guilty. Remember this: you don't have to burn yourself to keep others warm.